Welcome to Curiosity on the Move, where we prove it's never too late to learn something new. I'm Lee, and I'm on a mission to try things I've always wondered about and to take you along for the ride. The world is full of skills, sports, hobbies, and adventures just waiting for curious minds like ours. And here's the bonus. Learning new things isn't just fun, it's one of the best ways to keep our brains healthy and engaged as we age. So, whether you're looking for a new passion, a way to meet people, or just want to keep that mental sharpness, you're in the right place. Welcome back to Curiosity on the Move. I took my summer break for June so I could get out and do many more things and come back and talk to you about them. Today's episode has been a few months in the making. I signed up for Fleet Feet's 5K training program, officially called No Boundaries or NOBO, back in March. Honestly, I signed up because I'd already registered my husband and me for a Disney race in October. That is generally how I operate. If I have a date on the calendar and that money is paid, I'm going to show up because otherwise, left to my own devices, running is not something that comes naturally to me. I get into fits and spurts where I convince myself I'm a runner. I do a race, and then I'm right back on the couch. But Nobo was different. We met on Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings for 10 weeks. Plus, there was a training program to follow at home in between. And I will pat myself on the back. I was actually pretty good about doing it. Running with a group changes everything. The coach, the mentors, the other students, everyone was cheering each other on, and the growth you could see week over week was genuinely phenomenal. It was hard, I'm not going to lie. It's Charleston, it's spring, it's very hot, but you feel so accomplished at the end of every session that it's worth every sweaty mile. I did unfortunately have to miss the actual race. The program finished with the Flopping Flounder 5K over on Sullivan's Island at the end of May, but I had a work conference that ran into Saturday. I still have my Disney 5K in October, so my journey isn't over, but I want to be honest that I trained with this group knowing I might not make it to the finish line with them, and I showed up anyway, and I'm really glad I did. Before we get to the interviews, a little context on Fleet Feet. The company started in 1976 when Sally Edwards and Elizabeth Jansen opened their first store in Sacramento. It's since grown into a franchise operation headquartered in Carrboro, North Carolina, with over 270 locally owned stores across 40 states. Here in Charleston, we have 4 locations. There's Mount Pleasant, West Ashley, and 2 in Somerville. The Mount Pleasant store where I trained and one of the Somerville locations run all the training programs. There's the Nobo 5K, a 10K program, speed series, half marathon training, running clubs, all sorts of programs. Definitely worth checking out their website. Fall sessions should be coming up soon, and I definitely plan to be back for one. The whole Fleet Feet philosophy is that running isn't just about gear, it's about community. And 10 weeks in, I can tell you that's exactly right. Nobo ran 2 groups, Nobo 1 and Nobo 2, and you could adjust on days you needed a lighter load and drop from 2 to 1 without any judgment. I certainly had days my energy was pretty low and I needed to take it a little bit easier. It was designed for true beginners and for people like me. Used to run, kind of run, don't really run, but want to run. At the end of those 10 weeks, I sat down with my coach, Carter Hudnell, 2 of our mentors, Darcy and Jessica, and a fellow first timer named Brandy. We met right after a Saturday session outside as the group was breaking up, so you'll hear a little background noise. How long have you even been doing this?
The training program?
The training
we're
program,
working-
yeah.
So this is my fifth time doing the No Boundaries program.
All right.
But I've lost track because I also do the half and the 10K and the speed series group. So this is, I don't even know how many individual training programs, but this is my fifth time doing No Boundaries. I did my first one as like a mentor, and then I've been the head coach since then.
So for this like 5K program, what do you expect participants to get out of it?
Really whatever they're looking for, because it's very personalized. It's very much like what you put into it, you will get out of it. But really just kind of working toward a goal. The big thing for us is having that community and the camaraderie of being able to train with other people that are training for the same thing, because it's much more difficult to just go out and do the whole thing by yourself.
And how do you create a program there when you've got such diverse background of runners, like people who've truly never run before, people like me who have just dabbled every once in a while and need some help, to folks like Joe, who's a trail runner who's coming back and like, I was so curious as to why he was in a 5K training program. But obviously I know we have the Novo 1 and the Novo 2, but even within those groups it's quite, so how do you kind of calibrate those certain
So,
levels?
not gonna lie, when Joe first came and gave me his background, I was a little bit nervous as well. I was like, oh, this might not be the best. But like you said, right, we have the Novo 1 and the Novo 2 programs, where the Novo 1 is based for people that are just getting into it, maybe haven't done a 5K before, and then Novo 2 is more, I've done one before, looking to do another one, maybe looking to improve, work toward a goal. But in those individual programs, we are always able to kind of space out and kind of go more based on like effort and how do we feel, what does an easy effort feel like, what does a hard effort feel like, but really breaking it down, because as we go through the program, being the coach, part of my job is being able to identify if changes need to be made in like future weeks, and like how are people doing, are people improving, are people keeping up, because one of the struggles we always face is like, if somebody doesn't come like 3-4 days in a row,
right,
then they're a little bit behind. So just making sure that everyone's able to do the workout, complete the workout, whatever it is, and we try and just be as flexible as possible while still sticking to the schedule for those that are coming consistently. So,
for someone who's like brand spanking new, though, is there like a particular something they get wrong consistently, like across all the groups you've done since you've done this 5K training? What you said 5 times, that is kind of a general something they get incorrect in that, and what do you do to fix it?
Yeah, so fantastic question, because I think a lot of people will make what seem like the minor mistakes, right? Like, wearing the wrong kind of socks, or not doing a full warm-up stretch before, or like the simple stuff. But I think the big thing that people get wrong is thinking that it's just going to turn around overnight and they're just going to make this massive chunk of improvement. When running especially really takes consistency and just doing it day after day, even when it's hard, and then you just kind of build gradually. It's not like an instant improvement or fix that people go through. So especially coming out to the program, it's designed to be very gradual. That way you're not forced to make a big jump or suddenly be able to run 20 minutes without stopping or anything like that. You can work your way into it.
So as a coach, though, what's it like going from day one to the end to watch all these folks just improve over these 10 weeks?
Ooh, that's what I get the most out of the program, is just that enjoyment of seeing people really find the community and enjoy getting to know each other better, but also improving themselves and kind of tackling those things that they didn't think that they'd be able to do, because you never really know what the end of the program is going to look like when we start and as we get into it. So that's really the biggest benefit for me, and honestly what I enjoy most about my job is just seeing that gradual improvement and seeing how people have changed from end to beginning.
And obviously, I think Fleet Feet is definitely a culture here. I've seen it, it's great. So, what keeps people coming back? Because I know when we started, there were a number of people who've actually already done this 5K training and returned.
Yes.
So, what do you think keeps them coming?
Yeah, so that's something that's consistent with Fleet Feet all across the U.S. is any city that has a store or multiple stores, you'll find a running community too. And so people who are able to get to know each other and enjoy working out because they're working out together. Fleet Feet does a great job because we have things like our training programs, and we do different events like the pub runs and like Global Running Day next week. So there's a lot of opportunity to come out where like there's very little intimidation factor, right? Like for our running club on Monday nights, we always say that's all faces, all paces. So anyone is welcome to join, and then kind of build their running as they want to. If they want to keep it, just once a week, right? You can still come run casually once a week with a friend or with a couple, and just get to know people from there. So.
Do you see a particular demographic more than another that tends to come out for these, or is it kind of like all over the board?
It can be all over the board. I think for us, you do see the same, at least in general, kind of age group. For us, that's going to be anywhere from like 20 to 40, 50 years old on average, but there's always going to be the outliers, right? We've got the folks that, I don't know how old Ferris is, but he is like, I think he's like pushing 80, and he still comes really consistently to all of our stuff. And then for us, kind of coming back to the community aspect, we have a lot of other running groups and training groups that might cater to different audiences. But at the end of the day, more people running, more people being active, it's good for the group as a whole. So.
And it's something though that someone, say my age, early to mid 50s, can just kind of pick up at the go without ever having run before.
Absolutely, yeah. I always try and kind of set that expectation, especially with the training programs, because for me, myself, I've been running for over a decade now, really consistently. So for people that, didn't grow up running track in middle school, right? They're still able to kind of pick it up as a hobby, and it's a very attainable hobby because really all you need is a good pair of shoes and the encouragement to like go out and start doing it, and you just be surprised how simple it is to just kind of pick it up and enjoy doing it after a bit of time.
So what do you wish more people knew about before they started running?
I would say that you are not necessarily going to enjoy it right away. It can be very difficult from the start. That's where, running, unfortunately, is an activity that's it takes a while to get into shape and get into that consistently, but it's very easy to get out of it. So you take, a week and a half off, you're already losing a bit of the fitness that you've been working on growing, which on one hand is great because it means that like you have to be committed to doing it, but also can be very demoralizing for people who are like, oh, maybe I don't have a lot of time to be able to run in my schedule. And they just have to, kind of work their way into it that way because, yeah, it just can be difficult for some people at times.
Do you have any, ending advice for someone who's kind of on the fence signing up for this sort of a program?
Yeah, I think really just making the commitment to do it, because once you start showing up, once you get to know the people around you, you'll find the enjoyment and you'll kind of realize that there's a lot of benefit that comes from it, especially when you kind of consider all the outside of just I can run a little bit faster, a little bit farther. There's a lot of lifestyle improvements that come from just being active, even if it is running or not. Just being active is good for your overall health. So I think that's what a lot of people would benefit from joining a program like this.
Is there anything else that we didn't touch on that you want to talk about, either Fleet Feet or the No Boundaries program?
So one other thing I'll add is I've been a customer of Fleet Feet for many, many years before I started working here. My local store in Ohio is where we went to get shoes and to really just kind of not necessarily find the community, because for me I started running through school, But then when I moved here, just really fell in love with the store and with the community that Chris and Amy have really fostered since they opened the store, which was almost 12 years ago at this point. And I'm just really happy to be a part of it.
After I talked with Carter, I wanted to hear the other side of the coaching relationship. So, two people who have been through this program themselves and then came back to help guide the next group through it. So, I asked Darcy and Jessica a lot of the same questions, so you'll hear both of their takes. Well, I'm assuming you both actually went through the program before you were mentors, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
I did.
What made you want to step into that mentor role, though, after you completed the program yourself?
Oh, gosh. I never anticipated becoming a runner. I went through NOBO the first time as a participant the year I turned 40. I came into the store to get shoes to walk the bridge run that year, and the person who happened to be fitting me for shoes was Lauren Hester, who was the coach at the time for the NOBO programs, and she kind of gently and lovingly peer pressured me into signing up for NOBO, which was starting like 2 weeks later. And I thought it was going to be really hard and I was going to hate it. I was one of those people who always thought, like, I hate running. I can't run. And after I started doing it, I was like, oh, unfortunately, I love this. And it was such a supportive and welcoming environment. I never once felt self-conscious about being a slower runner, about being older, about not being that fit when I started. So I just, when they asked me to mentor the first time, I was like, hell yeah, I'll do that.
So how many ones have you done so far then as a mentor?
As a mentor, I think this is my third round, third or fourth. I've been with Carter a couple of times. I did it with Lauren once, I think. So, yeah.
What's the biggest difference between being a mentor and an actual participant? Because you're still out there slogging around.
Yeah, there's a greater sense of responsibility. You really have to be more mindful of the people you're training with. I can remember, like, one of my earliest runs as a mentor, I kind of got out in front, and afterwards, one of the coaches, like, held me. He was like, "Hey, can you hang back, like, with the trainees?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that," because when you're just training, you're running whatever pace is your pace. So,
right.
But yeah, but a sense of responsibility, but in a good way.
So is there something that you tell newer runners that no one told you at the beginning?
There's not really anything that nobody told me at the beginning. I feel like when I started, I got told all the right things, and they were all the correct things. They turned out to be true, even if I didn't believe them the first time around. I just tell people you can run. I think folks who are not runners, you hear a lot of people say, like, "Oh, I only run if somebody's chasing me," or, like, kind of joking, but like your human body, almost all of them can run. It might be hard, it might be unpleasant. If you don't like it, you don't have to keep doing it. You don't have to force yourself to love running, but you might find out that you do. And the other thing I tell people is you don't ever have to get rid of your walk breaks.
No.
If it's good enough for Jeff Galloway, it's good enough for me.
Right. No. Do you do more than just the 5K as a mentor? Do you do like the other?
I have not mentored a higher distance than that. I have not reliably gotten through longer training programs without injuring myself, and so I've never I know I can do NOBO 5K distance without needing to duck out at the end, so we'll see, maybe in the future. Also, I think they've got the 13-minute pace group pretty much covered for bridge run, so we are legion.
I'll be slower than that. Going uphill is not something I have any desire to do. Every time I look at that bridge, I'm like, no, that's quite all right. I appreciate it.
It's fun. Flat. It's hard. It's fun.
I don't even put my treadmill on more than 1 degree.
The dreadmill.
I put it on 1 degree, and then I'm like, this is equivalent to running outdoors. I'm good.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
Jessica, what about you, though? What did you, thank you for Darcy, I appreciate it. What made you want to mentor?
I just found, so the first time I did NOBO, I had sort of moved here recently, and I was coming back from a pretty severe ankle injury, and my experience was so positive, just like meeting people, the community, the support, that, yeah, likewise, when I got asked to be a mentor, I was just like, there was no question, like, I didn't have to think about it. It was just like, yeah, of course, I want to keep being a part of this community. And it's fun to, like, kind of pay it back, like, the support that you receive, to be able to, like, provide that in some shape, way, or form to other people and get people excited about running.
Good. Is this your first time mentoring? How many times have you mentored?
I have mentored Nobo 3 times now, and the bridge run once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like I said, we're and I'm being strong-armed into it next year since it's an anniversary,
you should.
and I guess I ought to.
Yeah,
do it.
so you guys were talking about running hills, and I was always a runner because I used to run quite a lot before I hurt my ankle, and I was always the kind of person where I was like, I'm not gonna run a hill. If I see even the slightest incline on any run, I'm like, that's my walk break, obviously. But like I found I actually like bridge repeats. Like I don't like them, but they make me feel strong, and I found that I can do them better than I thought I could. So you might surprise yourself.
It's actually harder on your ankles going up or down?
Down, I think.
Down.
Right? For a lot of people.
Yeah. I saw something about hiking the other day, that it's the down that's worse for your knees, too.
Yeah.
But not anything I've done either, so.
Yeah.
Awesome. What, and then, like, the same question that I asked earlier, what's the difference between you participating as a participant versus a mentor?
Yeah, I mean, she hit it pretty good with just, like, a little bit of added responsibility, but in a good way. For me, one of the things that I kind of like a lot is sort of like staying with people, but also convincing them that like whatever they need, like meeting them where they are, and that's okay. Like I was always super worried about inconveniencing people or being like, oh, I'm the slowest or I'm whatever, and I was always worried about it. So it's really, I find it really rewarding to like be the person next to that person and say like, nope, like this is still awesome, we're still having a great time. Like, you're doing something hard. This is great. So I like that part.
Is there any advice that you give to new runners in particular?
Find a community. It's a lot more fun when you have friends doing it with you. I think that's what keeps me going most of the time is, the community.
I find it's been the accountability, too.
Yeah, for sure.
I have to be here at 6:30.
Yes.
On Wednesday.
Yes.
I gotta go.
Yeah. Someone will ask about me if I'm not there, so I need to be there.
And finally, someone who was right in the thick of it with me. Brandy joined the program at the same time I did. And here's what she had to say heading into that race week. What made you sign up for this?
Oh yeah, the Fleet Feet 5K training. You know what? I just wanted to be healthy, and I knew that if I ran with a group of people that it would help keep me accountable. And I've enjoyed it ever since. Okay.
What is your normal running practice?
I actually just got into running with Fleet Feet. So I did the bridge run training, and after I did that, I enjoyed it so much I didn't want to stop. So then I signed up for this training, and now I'm enjoying the 5K training as well.
Awesome. What was the hardest week out of all this?
The very first week, because I doubted myself when we are stronger than we give ourselves credit for. So yeah, I doubted myself the first week. And then when everybody was so encouraging, it was like, oh, I can do this. So it was great.
So how's your relationship with running changed since you've started with Fleet Feet?
I actually like running now. I enjoy it. I dreadfully get here, but once I'm here and I start running, I enjoy it. Yes.
They're so cool looking.
And race day, I know it's coming up next Saturday. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to participate, and I know you did the bridge run as well. So what makes you the most nervous on race day?
Parking. Parking makes me the most nervous. Because once I get there and I park, I'm like, okay, I'm here. Let's go. Let's do this.
What makes you the most excited about it?
The community of people that are there. Just the people that are there. The other runners, the people you know, the people you don't know. Everybody is great and encouraging. That's what I like most about running, is the community of people.
Will this keep you running?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I enjoy all the programs that, Fleet Feet put together. I enjoy them. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Brandy.
You're
I
welcome,
appreciate
Lee.
it. Huge thank you to Carter, Darcy, Jessica, and Brandy for talking with me. As you heard from all of them, running is for everyone, no matter the age or the pace. I encourage you all to join in this fabulous community. I have every intention to keep running. Next year, save the date for April 3rd, 2027. That's the 50th Cooper River Bridge Run. I've lived here over 30 years and I have yet to participate. But as an anniversary event, I will definitely be going. Registration for that is already open, and I'll certainly be back with Fleet Feet to train. So glad to be back on the air. As always, all ideas, critiques, etc. are welcome. Just DM me at Curiosity on the Move on Instagram. Thank you all for listening, and you'll hear from me again in 2 weeks.